Good Wednesday morning, everyone. This is Joe. Welcome to my reflection for Wednesday, January the 4th. I would like to continue our prayers, healing thoughts, all energy and strength sent to Damar Hamlin and his family, his teammates, and everyone who was so affected by this terrible tragedy that took place on Monday night. There was plenty of positive outpouring, and it was so nice to see. And my hope and prayer is that it continues. It continues in that one direction, the direction being towards love and compassion, which is where God is. Pointing in that direction is different for some of us, but that's what we all talk about a little bit in today's gospel. So I'm going to ask you to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. John, chapter 1, verses 35 to 42. John was standing with two of his disciples as he watched Jesus walk by, and he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." The two disciples heard what he had said and followed Jesus. Jesus turned and saw them following him and said to them, "What are you looking for?" They said to him, "Rabbi," which translated means teacher, "where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and you will see." So they went and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day. It was about 4 p.m. Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, was one of the two who John heard and followed Jesus. He first found his own brother Simon and told him, "We have found the Messiah," which is translated Christ. Then he brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon, the son of John. You will be called Cephas," which is translated Peter. So John the Baptist, as we continue to look at his ministry, his life, his service, whatever you want to call it, had an amazing ability to take the focus off of himself and put it on God. In the very beginning of the gospel, we hear him say, as Jesus is walking by, "Behold, the Lamb of God." He probably dropped everything he was doing, dropped his coffee, whatever else he had in his hand, and that was it. It was all about God, and that was his life. As I've said in other reflections recently, we are not God. We can never be God. However, we can be a John the Baptist, and we can point towards God in our life and make sure that that is our priority, taking the focus off ourself and off of our sometimes individual beliefs that really don't pertain to a situation. Why am I saying that? Because in the midst of everything yesterday that was so positive, there still had to be some contention. There still had to be some contention of, well, after all, this happened. Well, after all, maybe it was this. After all, maybe it had to do with the COVID injections. And it went on and on. And then it was, well, do you really believe that God had a hand in this? And conversations, as I saw them happen, they got to a point where the focus came off of God. And I believe in my heart that most of these situations, the people's first intention was to keep it there. But as sometimes happens, we let our emotions get away from us, and we get into a place where we are really not focused on God and thereby the goodness of the situation. As I've said many times when I talk to you about these issues, I see them in myself. So that's why I share them with you. I am with you on all of these things. I really feel like I am never in a position where I am preaching to you. I am sharing with you. So I do have a suggestion. As the time goes on in this poor young man's situation, as well as others that will come up, when the distractions appear, and they will, just like they did in the gospel today, and just like they always will, be a John the Baptist where he said those words, "Behold." No, rein it in. Rein it in to the goodness of the situation, the godness of the situation, the love and the compassion, and keep it there. Have the strength to waver back off of the discussions that are not fruitful. waver off and call it a day, and don't argue anymore on those situations where we need to focus in a different place. What a wonderful world it would be, wouldn't it? Is it possible? As I always say, of course it's possible, but it starts with us. Behold, the Lamb of God. Period. End of story. Or continue the story in a beautiful place. My friends, I ask you always to give me your thoughts and your concerns, your issues, whatever they may be, your questions. I'm here for you. I enjoy doing this. I will be branching it out continually in the next couple of months. I have a study on the Gospel of St. Mark. I have other issues that are spiritual in nature, and I look forward to sharing all of them with you. So please continue to join me, and please continue to share these reflections with your friends and your family so we can continue to grow our audience. I'd ask you to continue to follow me at joedwyerjr.com. But above all else, stay focused and have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care, everyone.